The island of Jamaica was colonized by the Taino tribes prior to the arrival of Columbus in 1494. The Spanish enslaved the Tainos, who were so ravaged by their conflict with the Europeans, and by foreign diseases, that nearly the entire native population was extinct by 1600. The Spanish also transported hundreds of enslaved West Africans to the island. In 1655, the English invaded Jamaica, defeating the Spanish colonists. Enslaved Africans seized the moment of political turmoil, and fled to the island's interior, forming independent communities known as the Maroons. Meanwhile, on the coast, the English built the settlement of Port Royal, which became a base of operations for pirates and privateers, including Captain Henry Morgan. In the 18th century, sugarcane replaced piracy as English Jamaica's main source of income. The sugar industry was labor-intensive and the English brought hundreds of thousands of enslaved Africans to Jamaica, so that by 1800 black Jamaicans outnumbered whites by a ratio of 20 to 1. Enslaved Jamaicans mounted over a dozen major uprisings during the 18th century, including Tacky's revolt in 1760. There were also periodic skirmishes between the British and the Maroons, culminating in the First Maroon War of the 1730s and the Second Maroon War of the 1790s. Early inhabitants of Jamaica named the land Xaymaca, meaning land of wood and water. The first inhabitants of Jamaica probably came from islands to the east in two waves of migration. About 600 Settler culture known as the Redware people arrived. Little is known of them, however. Beyond the red pottery they left one alligator pond in Manchester Parish and Little River in St. Ann Parish are among the earliest known sites of this Oceanoid people, who lived near the coast and extensively hunted turtles and fish too. Around 800 Iroquois-speaking Taino arrived, eventually settling throughout the island. Living in villages ruled by tribal chiefs called caciques, they sustained themselves on fishing and the cultivation of maize and cassava. At the height of their civilization, their population is estimated to have numbered as much as 60,001. The Taino brought from South America a system of raising yucca known as canuco, to add nutrients to the soil. The Taino burned local bushes and trees, and heaped the ash into large mounds, into which they then planted yucca cuttings. Most Taino lived in large circular buildings bohias, constructed with wooden poles, woven straw, and palm leaves. The Taino spoke an Iroquois language, and did not have writing. Some of the words used by them, such as barbacoa a barbecue, hammock a hammock, canoe a canoe, tobacco, yucca, batata sweet potato, and hurricane, have been incorporated into Spanish and English.